Welcome to Planet Pluto.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Whoop, whoop. Tango, tango, tango. Hey, hey. What's happening, good people? Y'all know who it is, right? It's me, your homegirl, Ladosha, Wright, a.k.a. Key Lolo, coming to you live and direct from Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. How you guys doing out there? We have a dynamic show tonight. We are officially 87 episodes in, and you have just landed on Planet Pluto Pseudo, and you know who that is over there, right? Who that be? That's Cheryl Morrow, aka The Hair. What's happening, Black? How's it going?
Damn, what's going on?
Oh man, I was just looking on. You know, every time I get ready to go live, I try to get on Google and see what's going on. And I saw something that said, "America, get the hell out of Haiti." I'm like, come on. I'm like, oh, it's like I don't even want to turn the news no more. You know, that's why we here with our lonely sandwiches. We have a wonderful, wonderful lineup. Nothing but excitement. Now, remember, in case you guys are wondering, you know, like, on 22s, where am I? Remember now, you are on Planet Pluto Pseudo here on America's favorite, dopest, coolest, trillest, illest. I was going to spit some bars, but I ain't want to go there. Podcast about Afro hair. We're talking Afro hair science, and this one is Planet Pluto Pseudo. This particular podcast is for our barber and beauty professionals, and of course, our hair aficionados. And we have a wonderful lineup for you guys. And so here, what we do on this platform with the lineup that we have is like, you know, we kind of debunk some myths and kind of set the record straight, because other platforms, all they doing is just talking about stupid stuff like P. Diddy, Atlanta Housewives. They not dropping no hair history. They're not dropping no facts. They ain't got no sources. So tonight we are going to bring our source to life. Now, if you have been rocking with us, now remember, we have over 400,000 views. Thank you, YouTube. Y'all starting to recognize us out here in these YouTube streets, okay? So give it up for YouTube. By the way, again, if you've been rocking out with us, I'm just gonna give y'all a little snippet, sure, because they gonna be like, what? They don't want none. Y'all don't want none. Y'all want none. So we've been talking about this book, right? And right. It's called, let me just pull it up right quick. It's called Styling Jim Crow. Now, for about 2 years, we've been talking about this book. Now, if you notice the cover on the book, right, it's three ladies. Now, we told you guys last week that particular picture is from the legendary, the historical Franklin Beauty School. So we're going to bring this book to life, because we have the one and only Mr. Rob Jemison.
Man, we got it.
Cheryl then brought the funk. Watch out, Roland. You ain't the only one bringing the funk. Everybody's got a little hair under the sun. Under the sun. So we're going to be bringing Rob in a little bit. And I'm telling y'all, this is the y'all like that podcast is kind of dope, okay? So now, but before we bring him in, because y'all better get ready. I'm telling y'all, you're like, oh my God, I cannot believe that. I mean, this school 100 years, almost as old as me. Shoot. But before we bring him in, we have a special treat. If you are a sci-fi, a movie thriller from Manila, we're going to be bringing in Mr. Armin. That's right, Mr. Armin Campbell. He is the co-producer of The Interval, a film by Marquette J. Williams. And so in the future, the only way to stop crime is in the past. So it's going to be showing in Cleveland this Sunday. So we're going to bring him in a few moments and he's going to tell us about it because y'all already know Key Lolo got her tickets. Okay. I noticed I said tickets because, you know, with the RDT, it's a couple of us. We all going, you know what I'm saying? Rashida coming up from Atlanta. I know Armin, like, you brought people up from Atlanta. That's what we do, Armin, here in the green room. Like, what kind of people? We like public. My posse come quick because my posse got velocity. You know what I'm saying? So it's going down. So chat, get ready. And you know what we do when we bring someone in. We like to do the good old fashioned, you know, welcome. Show them what they got to do. Sure. I see you, WK, our virtual co-host is rocking it out. All cylinders are firing on all of the other platforms. So thank you guys so much for supporting the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel. And we got about 7 more people before we get to our 3K followers with over 400,000 views. And we have about 12,000 downloads. So y'all know we think we all in the bag of grits with some chips. You know what I'm saying? So what we want you guys to do is to take what hair, Shan? Cheryl?
That's right.
Take your left hand and your right hand. We want y'all to put it together. We're going to get ready. Let me just get my little clap going. Y'all hear it? Now, y'all can emojis in the chat or else I'm not going to bring them in. Only Mr. Armin Campbell. And again, he is the co-producer of this wonderful sci-fi thriller that's going to be shown in Cleveland this Sunday. And it's called The Interval. So, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Mr. Armin Campbell. Bring him on in. Bam!
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? I appreciate y'all for having me.
Now, ladies, can we just give one more clap for because he looks so fine, make the picture.
That beard is on.
Wine. Hold on, that beard is on fleek. Hold on, one more time. Mr. Lateef, did Mr. Lateef tell you I was a little crazy? He didn't tell you? He didn't warn you?
No, but guess what?
No.
I don't think you're crazy. I think you're enthusiastic and I love it.
All right. Well, that's cool. So welcome to the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel. We are very, very honored to have you on because when Mr. Lateef shared with us, Cheryl and I, that he has spoken with you, and I know you might find this hard to believe as like, what is a bunch of hairstylists doing like with film, you know, like what are these guys doing? So believe it or not, we are encouraging people in our industry to use their other creative talents to show what they can do. And this month, guess what? We were focusing on the film industry. And so it's only befitting that you join us for our first few moments before we bring in Mr. Rob Jemison, who I'm very excited to just get all up in that family business. So it's very befitting to have you to join us because I think when it comes to film, people are very, very, intimidated. I took a stab at it and I did a documentary about Cheryl's dad and it's called The Narrative. Cheryl jumped me in. Go ahead, Cheryl. Tell them how you jumped me in, right?
She gonna call me up. I want to, Armand, I want to do this thing. I said, okay. So you're going to do it. Wait. I said I was going to. I was gonna do it. Armand, I made her do it.
You can't be playing. If you talk about it, you just put it in the existence. You put it in reality.
That's right.
There it is. That's how she jumped me in. It's called our tagline is "Let the truth be told about Afro hair." The narrative featuring Cheryl's dad, Dr. Willie Morrow, the late great Dr. Willie Morrow, and of course Cheryl Morrow. And let me just tell you, that ain't for the faint at heart. So we got some people in the chat that's really excited to see you. What's going on, Shakespeare? All right. And then we got our virtual co-host, our homegirl, LB is in the chat. And again, we're firing on all cylinders on LinkedIn, Instagram, and then of course Facebook. So Armin, if you can, a little bit, tell us a little bit about who you are before we hop into the interval. You guys would be surprised I actually have the trailer that I'm going to show. I hope I can get it in here right. But anywho, tell us a little bit about who you are.
Okay, so first of all, my name is Armand. I'm a native Clevelander, and I kind of like took a whim out to try something different with the film thing. Marquette Williams, that's actually my family. It's my cousin, and we had
that's a great film name, Marquette. Armand. Then it's just real, like, you know, Scorsese and Armand. You know, it's got that Armand Marquette. Okay.
Man, yeah. So we was having like a we have a really big family, and we was having our annual family affair where we get a lake house and stuff like that, and you know, our family get together. We fill out our family tree. We talk, you know, love on each other, chop it up, play music, eat good food, you know, all the good stuff like that.
I play spades. I play a little bit of spades.
Come on, you know we playing all.
Oh man, I spades and told my family. I'm gonna ask Ron, does his family play spades? Because you know, man, listen here now, spades be messing up the black family, but we still together. Y'all family still together. Cheryl's family still together. So we gonna ask Ron, does his family play spades?
Yeah, friendly competition. Friendly competition.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
so so that's how you got into film, like. You guys were cousins, and
so yeah, we was talking about it, and basically he said he wanted to, because he actually was living in California, and he had came back, and he said he wanted to open up a studio to teach film, and so we ended up, you know, getting the studio, getting it together, and we ended up having this program called the iFilms program, and the iFilms program is a local program, nonprofit that actually helps teach younger people, and you could be adults too, but the youth and adults how to find a lane, I guess you could say, with tangible skills inside of the film industry. And so through that, we've been working for the last couple of years, and we didn't callous some of the students, and we actually shot the film using like a lot of our students, and one of our main camera people was like one of our first, you know, students and stuff like that. So it's actually pretty cool to see this start off as wanting to pay it forward and teach others, and then ended up turning into, like, this is almost like, I would say, almost like their walk across the stage as students, you know, being able to show like what they have been able to accomplish, and this all of us as a team as well.
All right. Okay. So that's cool. So what's your role in this wonderful sci-fi thriller? We're going to ask you what makes it a sci-fi thriller. A lot of people may not be familiar with the term sci-fi. So I'm going to put it up again. And then, of course, we're going to show the clip. So I'm going to put it up. So what makes this a sci-fi? And, you know, what's your role in the film?
Okay. So what makes it sci-fi is that basically stands for science fiction, right?
Okay.
And so science fiction, you know, it can be anything of your wildest imagination, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's, you know, it's not technically based on truth, but more on just like whatever your creative juices can come up with. And as far as my role, I wore a lot of hats. I can say that I wore a lot of hats. So I helped co-produce the film. I did the lighting, so that's called gaffing, but the lighting for all the different scenes, like, I played a big role in that, as well as I had a character. I played a character named Tank inside of the film. So that was pretty cool, because that was actually my first time, like, I guess, being a feature actor acting on a feature film. So that was pretty cool.
How did you get your dates in the cities?
A lot of pre-production, a lot of pre-production planning goes into all of this, but really we had a vision board, kind of like we had a vision board to figure out what scenes we wanted to accomplish, and then just going off of places we done been and like different locations. So one of the locations that we used was actually the Zanzibar in Shaker Square. So that's one of the locations that we used.
Oh, sure, we took you there.
Yeah, so that was one of the
we took Cheryl there. Okay.
Yeah, so and then it was really just, you know, you kind of talk to the owners in different places, and you ask them like, what's their availability. And I know sometimes, like, restaurants and stuff like that. Sometimes they don't open till later. We was fortunate to be able to use the like back end of the restaurant before it started, like actually like business. But they still had people coming in the front, so it was just like, hey, you get a couple extras.
Got the little like a little action there, a little action
there. A couple
okay.
extras, you know, you might get a couple little extras, and you know.
I should have been in there like Kilo would be like. All right, so we're gonna take a moment out and let's share with them a little clip on the interval. You guys, we want you guys to check it out, and then also get ready because we're gonna be bringing in Mr. Rob Jemison. What did I did here right now? Okay, where I'm at right here. Okay, let me get it right. Y'all know Kilo will be messing up. All right, so let me share. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get it together. Hold on, show hold your underwear now. Okay, let me go share screen. All right. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's get ready to share. Let's see if it's gonna go. All right, here we go. Let me hit the play.
In the future, the only way to solve violent crimes is in the past.
Who's our target? Jessica Bacon.
Interval is an action-packed sci-fi thriller that follows a team of time-traveling cops on a mission to stop serial killers in the past.
First victim, York Michaels, concert violin.
Agent Kennedy leads a specialized unit that is focused on apprehending these criminals. To have his freedom, Agent Kennedy must outsmart his team.
I should probably get going. It's getting late.
And escape into the past.
Used to be a great leader. Used to be a great man.
Each one has died in the field trying to take that position.
In the future, there are no heroes.
If I ever see you again,
only victims.
I'll kill you where you stand.
All right, there you guys have it. The interval. That's pretty dope. Y'all see, I was like,
the whole
yeah. Okay, so we are excited. So
thank you.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Now, where can people? What day, what time can people come and check out the interval and how much and all that good stuff?
Okay, so I want to say on that flyer right there, it's a QR code that you can scan to get all the dates. Because it's actually going to be screening in different cities. We're going to be screening inside of as well as Cleveland in the future, but we're going to be screening inside Columbus, Akron, Pennsylvania, Atlanta, New York, Baltimore, California. So it's going to be, I believe, Tampa Bay as well. So we're going to have a lot of different locations. So you don't have to just be from the Cleveland area to see it. But on June 29th, from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, we're going to be at Shaker Atlas Theaters at Shaker Square in Cleveland, Ohio. And it's going to be going on from 1 to 3. We're going to have a red carpet where people can take pictures. We're going to have our production team out there interviewing people for, before the actual movie starts, and then it gets kind of like some of their reactions, like a instant reaction, interviews and stuff like that when it's over with. And I'm actually going to be there this Sunday to kind of like host it.
You want to give me an Easter outfit? I'm just telling you right now. I'm gonna give you something real
yeah,
sharp.
but I'm on. You funny. I'm gonna be there this Sunday to host it and kind of like just introduce some of our sponsors and some of our people, and then you actually get a chance to get to know some of the cast and some of the crew as well.
All right, okay. We got Shakespeare saying, "Awesome work, King." All right, so don't forget, get ready to yes, congratulations, major congratulations. I will be there this Sunday. He said from 1 to 3. We're going to be over on Shaker Square. And don't forget, you can scan that QR code. Let me put it back up as we get ready to bring in Mr. Rob Jemison. So don't forget, guys, you can scan that QR code to get more information. They got some contests there. If you just thirsty, you just got to get a ticket. You know what I'm saying? Just holler at your girl. You know, I look out for y'all because there's going to be a couple of us going up in there. I like sci-fi thrillers. I'm not a mushy girl. You know, I'm not a chick flick. I like something real, like just well, I don't like get it, okay. So I will be there. We thank you so very much. Is there one thing you want people to know about what you guys are doing to make sure that we have your support, like any Instagrams or social media? What more can we do aside from supporting the actual film, but can we support you guys on social media? What would you like us to do?
So we do have Instagram handles, social media handles. The studio that actually shot the film is Studio Zero Media. And then our program that we actually help teach people film is called iFilms 216. That's on Instagram. Mine is AC _ Honcho HUNCHO. Yeah, Honcho. You know, they gotta be the big dog. No, but
spell that again. Spell that again. How you spell it?
AC _ HUNCHO.
AC _ HUNCHO.
Yeah,
and it's on Instagram.
Yeah, and but yeah, we can come and support us and follow us, and yeah, just come and support our local, because like you got to remember that this is a 100% Cleveland based thing. Like the cast, crew, and all the locations was in Cleveland, Ohio, so it's going to be like, you know, it's like a Cleveland coming out party to do something different with the sci-fi.
Absolutely.
All right. So I'm going to be there. And you guys were extremely supportive of Cheryl and I. I mean, oh my gosh, I felt like, like Tyler Perry, little bootleg, Spike. I got my little Spike Lee glasses on. You see what I'm saying? No, but seriously, guys, we need to support Mr. Armand and Mr. Marquette, because they really have filmmaker names. Okay, not the talent is there, but Armand and Marquette, you can't get any filmmaker-ish than that. You can follow them over on iFilms 216 and AC Honcho on Instagram. Let's do that right now, and let's support our brothers as they take it to the next level with their wonderful new sci-fi film thriller, and it is called Interval. And I'm telling y'all, it looks a little saucy, a little spicy, and you can check them out this Sunday over on Shaker Square between 1 to 3 p.m. Don't forget, scan that QR code, and it's going to give you all the information about the cost. And if you need help with a ticket, I got one left, but I know I might sell it. I'll be out there scalping.
You can always hit me up about tickets as well.
Okay. What you doing? I'm scalping. Move over, AC. All right.
Listen, so, I got your back. I'm saying if you need help, I got your back. You got my back.
All right. Okay. I look forward to meeting you in person. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. Let's give you a big round of applause. And it was unanimous. All the ladies in the chat was like, oh, gee, he's fine. All right. So thank you so much for your time. We appreciate
I appreciate y'all so much.
Thank you so very much. And good luck with all your other stops, okay?
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so very much. All right, guys. That was thebomb.com. Man, nobody bringing it to y'all like we're bringing it to you on America's favorite podcast about Afro hair. Yeah, that was pretty dope. Okay, that was pretty dope. I feel like a real TV show, because like we got a couple more minutes because we got to get y'all ready. All right, now it's about to go. Order another round. Look, Cheryl, it's about to go down. I already got my drink. Order another round. It's about to go down because we bringing in H-Town. I'm just itching to get to Rob Jemison. And we're going to Houston too. So he gonna be like, I'm gonna be all up in that school like, is Ron here? I'm his cousin Dodo. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what you guys have been waiting for. We are going to bring a source to life. Like, again, now y'all know I'm thirsty out here in these YouTube streets, because y'all know I got my own copy of Styling Jim Crow, and that is how I learned about Franklin Beauty Institute. And so I want you guys to get ready to meet the family member. He's going to clear all the stuff up, making sure I'm getting everything right. Yes. What'd you say?
Third generation.
Third generation. All right. So let's get ready.
All of the hair communities, we're going to stop saying what we don't have and what we don't do.
All right, because we about to clear this up. They got the hand clap. They thirsty for Ron, okay? All right, put your hands together like the OJs. Put your hands together. Come on. Woo, woo. Come on. Put your hands together. I don't see them hand clap. What's up, IG? Put your hands together. Come on, YouTube. And let us pray. Let's bring in Mr. Ron Jemison Jr. Here we go, guys. Holla. Holla, holla, holla. He did the key Lolo.
H-Town, baby.
H-Town. Oh, shoot. That's what that means. All right. Okay. I did not know that. I thought that was P-Funk, but depending on where you're from, that is not P-Funk. That stands for H-Town. And we are so excited. Let me take this little banner out because you fine too, sure. You ain't tell me.
Oh, come on.
Tuck my phone number in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Let's take that out right quick. All right, there he is. All right. Okay, no, shoot. Barber, fine. Come on, ladies. I dropped the F in the chat. Okay, I'm sorry. Sure, you should have told him, co-host. There we go. This is my girl LB. Check it out. What's Shakespeare like? Y'all bugging. Here is another cutie. All them other platforms got ugly bros. We got the fine bros on here. All right, Mr. Ron, we are so honored to have you act the fool with us, or just sit here because I know Cheryl like, oh, Ladosha, just calm down.
I love it. I love it.
I just told her we're gonna have fun. We're gonna talk about our ancestral business, the fact that we did get this right. There's a lot of things that went right in this industry, and it's
All right, so we're gonna we're gonna be like we miss Mario Cuomo and Don Lemon. Let's get after it, okay? So let's go ahead on and hop in. That was the good old days, after Dan Rather when we had real Tom Brokaw.
Throwback.
They like what you talking about? So Cheryl, let's get it started. So tell us, what do you know about Mr. Jemison? How'd you guys meet and all? Because we got to get the scoop, and then we're gonna move over into his family school. I do have a video coming from YouTube where everybody can kind of get a full gist of the history coming off of YouTube, and then we'll go more into detail. But this was Cheryl said, we bringing Ron on Thursday, okay? So Cheryl, take it away. Who is Mr. Ron? How y'all cool like that?
I met him about could have been 2002. Could have been 2002, 2003.
I think that's close.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And well, see, I already knew of him because, of course, in the day-to-day making up and creating the book 400 Years Without a Comb and the textbooks, The Art and Sciences of Curly Hair, Mr. Morrow was a research buff, and he had a team of researchers. So he made sure that the Franklin legacy and dealing with Texas is pretty huge with Black hair history with Tyler Barber College.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And so it's got a lot of roots. It's very strong. The National Beauty Cultures League in Texas at that time was extremely strong. And so when I finally met him, we were a lot younger. And we met in Atlanta, right? And
that's right.
And I have that picture, by the way, and I do apologize, Ladosha, for not giving you that picture when all of you guys were in the picture, right? And I know you guys remember that picture of everybody, all the jazz people in Harlem on the steps. Well, we have a picture like that with all of them in Atlanta at that particular time. And so that's how I met him. And kind of stayed in contact, but at the end of the day, we're the heirs and we're the kids of these great people, and it's our job. And so I just called them up and say, look, come on, let's go.
Okay.
Let's talk.
Now, everybody, in the chat, we really, really, really love like getting our history together, because we are well aware that we've not been getting the full Monty. And so, like, I went to cosmetology school. We don't get like any like, I don't want to make it sound like it's a black thing, but I'm just gonna say we don't get no black hair history, okay? And so I feel kind of jilted as a licensed professional to not even know, that your school even existed. So for you to be here on this platform, and this particular platform is for a licensed professional, regardless of the race. We got over 400,000 views, so clearly they're not all black people. So it's just nice to have you here to be able, like I said, to bring a source to life, because a lot of times what we're finding in our industry is that people don't know, so they're making things up as they go along. So we're honored to have you here to just show people and demonstrate, what was there, because Cheryl said you are 3 generations. So take us through a little bit about your family's history and school and all that good stuff.
Okay.
Of course, video to help, give people a robust what you might be missing or want to add to it. So let's start off with Franklin Beauty. Is it institute, school? Give us the real deal.
All right. Well, thank y'all for having me. It's always a blessing to be able to share with like-minded individuals and to give a little bit of the history that I've been born into. Actually, 4th generation. Yeah, 4th generation. It's all good. It's all good. My great grandmother, Madam Novia Franklin, was the first, and then my grandfather J.H. Jemison and my grandmother Abby Jemison were the second, and then my parents were the third. And so here it is. My wife and I are coming up on the 4th generation, and we've made enough kids to have that 5th as well. So we got 5 kids. We got 5 kids.
All right. Okay. Let's keep that hand clap going. Let's go.
Yeah, we got 5 kids. So somebody out of that 5, we've already seen them peak interest in the business already. 3 of them are already working in the business now. And so we're very excited about that. It's nothing that we push on our kids. They're all of age. We got the oldest at 30 and our youngest is 20. So they're young adults. And just kind of getting to the root of your question, Franklin started in 1915. And my great grandmother, Novia Franklin, went around on horse and buggy, teaching young women of color the art of hairdressing. And just like CJ, they went around with a product, and they used, she developed her own pressing oil as well, hair growth oil, and cosmetic care line as well. And, she just went around and did it the way she could. And so it's amazing because my grandfather married into the family, J.H. Jemison, and he took it to the business part, so he was able to establish it into an actual business and formed a school, a legitimate school, should I say. And went back and forth. We were in San Antonio. We actually went to Chicago for a little bit because, as you know, down south, a lot of us of color had to move around a little bit to do some things. And then when it was time, he brought it back to Texas and became one of the largest African-American beauty schools in the state of Texas for a very long time.
I just did the iPhone math because I ain't really good with the pen and paper.
Yeah, there you go.
I did the iPhone calculator math, and you said 1915 is 2000. Stop laughing at me, Cheryl. It's 2025, so that's 110 years of
amazing
cosmetology education. Now, remember, guys, because the thing is, Ron, is that I try to be nice because I'm from the hood, so I'm just kind of work with me a little bit, okay?
I got you.
So the thing is that it's just in our industry. Let's just take the natural hair movement, right? So they want to try to. They're trying to get the states to recognize them with their natural hair efforts and education.
Yes.
But here it is. You guys did this before. There was even a book called Miladies. This book wasn't even printed. Now this book, this book really should be called "Styling Jim Crow," featuring. Seriously, featuring Franklin's
Novia Franklin.
Institute. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So this author, are you familiar with this book by
Yes,
chance?
I am. I have one. I have a bunch of them. I have a bunch of them. Hey, I have a lot of them. I have a lot of them actually.
Let me drop the bomb. Hold on.
Let me bring up to speed about the book. That's a very good question. I like that segue. I like that segue for sure. So I was working after college. Actually, I was working at Pennzoil downtown Houston, and I was doodling and stuff. I think internet was still kind of fresh. I'm 55, so I'm a young man, and I remember Googling up my grandfather's name, and this book popped up, and I think that was around the time Kindle and Amazon had the Kindles and stuff like that, where you could read the books and stuff online on the Kindles and stuff. And so I saw the picture that you were showing. I saw that picture right on the cover, and as a little kid, I remember seeing that picture on my grandfather's mantle at his home. And so as I saw the picture, I kept saying that sure looks like our school, or our students, should I say. I know I've seen that picture before. So I ended up looking up the book and ended up ordering about 10 copies at that time. And I asked my father, which was running the school at that time, Ron Sr. And my father was the youngest of 3. So he knew what he knew as far as the history, right? He was the baby of the bunch. He was one of those kids that was not playing, should I say. My grandparents were kind of finished having kids, and all of a sudden, pow, another one pops up. So he was always around my grandfather. He was, him and his brother used to make the oils and stuff together and fill the jars and package products and ship them all over everywhere. But, it was before his time. So the package, we didn't have any distribution deals and things of that nature. But going back to the book, when I received that book in the mail, I remember reading it from cover to cover, like in 2 days. And it gave me chills because I didn't know how deep it was. I was still fresh out of college, still a young man. And, you hear your stories from your parents and you see them go to work every day, but you don't really understand the magnitude of what you have. Right. And so as I'm working at Pennzoil, I remember calling my father and I said, I read this book, Styling Jim Crow, and I think I'm ready to come work like now.
Wow.
And I said, do you know anything about this book?
To you, bro.
Yeah. And I was getting a promotion at that time at Pennzoil in corporate America. So I was a suit, and I thought that's what I was supposed to go to college and do, and starting a family as well. And my wife's a hairstylist, and she was doing very well, ironically. And he told me I could come work, but he can only pay me like $10 an hour at that time. And I was making probably, I think about 60K at that time, right? And then about to get a promotion, so I was about to make more. So nowadays, that's probably equal to, I don't know, 1 something, right? Oh yeah. That's 60. So I was doing pretty good. And starting a family. And I remember going home telling my wife what my father said he could pay. And man, luckily I married the right one because she was.
Come on,
so sweet.
Yeah.
What's your wife's name?
Her name is Zamika Jemison. And
all right, Zamika.
Yeah, she said it. It takes the strong. You gotta have that strong woman for sure. But she told me right there. She said, "It doesn't matter about the money right now. Do what you want to do, and do what you need to do."
That's
and at that point, I put in my 2 weeks, and I was at Franklin. Man, ever since. I haven't left.
All a dream. It was all a dream. It was all a dream.
Yes,
we trying to tell you guys, we got some nice professionals in the chat. As a matter of fact, we are truly honored to have Esther T. Jones. She is our de facto producer. She's the reason why you're here. Me and Cheryl was just going ham on this platform, like,
let's do this.
And so she was like, "You guys are really good, but you may want to have some, some actual, guests to kind of back up what y'all saying." And so, because we keep talking about stuff, and we look like we're like the smartest chick, because we're like hair nerds. Can't you tell? When I take my glasses off, I'm like hoochie mama. See, when I you know what I'm saying? Okay. So anywho, so big ups to Esther T. Jones. And Esther, this is truly working, because now we're going to show it. So we're showing exactly what you said, and we always thank her every time she comes in the chat, because this is this platform is truly an authentic build. But let me just tell y'all, now I did the same thing. Now, I'm just going to say this. I ain't going to just take up too much of your time. The chat is just on fire. All my cousins is in the chat. Atlanta is representing. Hey, Auntie is in the chat. I see Chris. I see you, Miss Christine. We see y'all coming through. Thank y'all for showing up for Mr. Rob Jemison. 4 generations of Franklin Beauty Institute. So I use this book here in Ohio, right? They had been trying to say that these natural hair professionals did not need any education. So for 11 years, I have been just going back and forth, testimony. We've been winning, and they come back and they snatch it, come back, right? So I use this book to make it so they're never going to touch it again. This is how powerful your family's legacy is. So to have you sitting here right now, and you probably aren't even aware of a little place called Cleveland, Ohio, but this is the power.
LeBron James.
Okay, all right, LB. Okay, so this is the power and the influence and the contributions of what your family has done that has trickled all the way down over 110 years later, and we're able to demonstrate. As Cheryl would say, we already did this before. So let me just read a passage, because as you can see, y'all, I got my book.
You've been reading.
Yes, the book. I keep trying to tell you.
You've been reading.
This is the book. So it's just so much. So just right quick, it says, this is what she's saying. Ambitious beauticians in Alabama. She's going that. And then she says, to meet these needs, beauty shop operators begin to take on apprentices. Some enterprising salon owners, such as, y'all heard what he said, right? Nobia Franklin found, there it is, the beauty instruction itself. The beauty instruction. So everybody in the natural hair movement or industry, whatever, you keep saying, I don't know why we can't get any education. You need to go to Franklin.
Well, first of all, Stop making it a white institutional some kind of monster. Make sure that you understand the right way to do things was a Black woman thought.
Yeah.
Not an institute, it's not this white establishment.
Yeah.
You guys think that you're fighting. You need to bring it back to the vest and put it back in your particular cultural ethos.
Right.
It was an ethos of ours.
That's right.
They're trying to create something that you guys already have established. Now we're talking about 110 years ago. It says Nobia Franklin found the beauty instruction itself often offered a second revenue stream as the market demand allowed them to charge women for their training. Thus, beauty schools did what? Emerged. We did it already. And then it goes on Franklin. They had the preparations, and then they're talking about San Antonio, Texas before World War I. Listen at this, guys. You're talking about.
You're giving me chills right now. Give me chills. That's amazing.
So let me just stop right there. Y'all, please get the book. And so let's talk about the education at your school. okay? Because that's what this platform is about. And I don't think people really take education in our industry serious. And I'm glad you have a Barber t-shirt on, because there seems to be like it's some type of a us against them and whatever. So tell us about the education and how you guys were able to merge as they kind of miladies came in, and how you kept some of your parents, your legacy, and then the barbering portion. So let's talk about that. And then afterwards, I'll go ahead on and show the clip.
Okay. I think I might answer this correctly. Pretty much, my mother and father, going back to my grandparents, just watch, I was privileged to be around my grandfather until I was 12 when he passed away. So I was able to get 12 years of him. And the 12 years I had of him was just truly amazing, of watching a man, when we go out to eat, how his charisma was, as far as with waitresses and, just people in general. Always taught to open the door for a lady, always was around a bunch of women in the beauty industry. And he taught me how to handle myself in front of and around a lot of women. I didn't grow up with a sister. I have one brother that's 4 years younger than me, younger than I am. So, it was just my mother in the home. So with my grandfather leading the way, and my father as well, just kind of showing us how to be men. I watched him. And so that's carried on with me today. But just seeing the leadership that they had and watching my parents following that footsteps and become commissioners of NACAS accreditation. I think Franco was like one of the first accrediting schools in the state of Texas.
I'm got goosebumps. God.
Yeah. And they've held offices and all that. My grandfather was, he was nominated or elected the first Black Texas Cosmetology Commissioner in the state of Texas by Governor Dolph Briscoe. Yes. I want to say that was in the 60s, if I'm not mistaken. I think it might have been when I was born in 69, if I'm not mistaken. And then my father became the second Black commissioner of the state of Texas of cosmetology. Yeah.
Are you guys listening to this? You guys?
Just to see that, I didn't know, when I was young, I didn't realize how big that was. Absolutely. But ended up, as we kept going, I remember my grandfather always said, anybody in the family that works in the business, we need you to have your license. And so I was one of them fighting it. I didn't want to have my cosmetology. I was going into the business world, that was my thing.
You sound like me. I was
fighting. Yeah, I was fighting it. But it was the best thing in the world for me, because actually learning what we were doing and what we were teaching. One of his things was, he said, I want you to have your license, because as an African-American business owner, you never want to be held hostage and your instructors leave out the door and you're left with nobody to teach. He said, so if you have your license, you got it.
Drop it again.
Wait a minute, hold on. Gotta drop it again. Hold on. It's coming to
Yes.
Because here's the thing. Let me just interject or interrupt. I remember from the hood. I don't know. I'm a nice little language here. But Tara, what are you saying to people who are anti-cosmetology education? Because I'm like, Cheryl, I just you just got to take it from there, because I know education is important, and I know you have a school, so people are like, well, of course he gonna say that. He just wants us to come to school. But remember, your family, it was Nobia, your great-great-grandma?
That's my great-grandmother.
Great-grandmother.
Now that's two.
Just great-grandma.
His great-grandmother. His great-grandmother is responsible for the education in cosmetology. So I'm like, sure, we have to stop vilifying. So take us through your explanation of why this education is truly important, given you are a true heir. I mean, this is what because you got the Euro pen and then you got the Franklin pen, okay? This blackity, blickety, blickety, black.
Hey, we've we've always been taught that education is key. You know, in our homes early on, you know, my parents will always tell me that as well. Same thing in our industry. We want to make sure we keep the public safe. If you think of yourself as a low on the totem pole, then that's what you'll be. You know, you have to carry yourself with dignity. When you see a person able to make 6 figures for doing hair and more, that's just kind of like the intro nowadays. You know, I mean, you are on the level of your doctors, your lawyers, your scientists, et cetera, et cetera. And as you get into the textbook and you get into the understanding the terms that's in the book and things of that nature, you got biology, you got science, you got anatomy, you got history. I mean, there's so much. Algebra's in there as well. I mean, you have to do some math as well. Geometry. You got your degrees, your angles. I mean, there's so much involved. So that's why sometimes you see the score is not high as some states would like them to be, because you have to really study. You have to really go to school to understand how to keep people safe, how to keep their hair on their head, how to keep their hair moisturized, how to keep how their skin can be healthy and things of that nature.
It sounds like you have a conversation ready for those who are anti-cosmetology, anti-cosmetology education, because he can say, to be honest, and I had to tell our lawmakers in Ohio, because in their minds, you know, because they were fragmenting, you know, this niche, as they call it, you know, natural hairstyling, it was getting dumbed down. Yes. And I will send you a clip because I got the book up. You know, I'm all like, and in this book, you know, I'm all proselytizing. You know what I'm saying?
We have to fight for it.
Up in there, and it worked. And so we're going to show a clip about your family's history. This is from YouTube, okay, guys? Okay. And but before we do that, our virtual co-host, Miss Wike, said before we can show y'all that clip, right? Y'all got to do this one thing right now to help change the narrative about 100 years of Black beauty education with none other than Mr. Rob Jemison Jr. of the Franklin Beauty Institute in Houston, Texas. Do this right now. Sure what they got to do. Bam. Pump me on. Pump me on. All right. Now, when we have some of our own very own Reverence Design team, because I'm a salon owner here in Cleveland, so we got some of our RDT family in the chat, and we like to show them some love when they take time out their evening and come and hang out with us. So, Chris, I see you in the chat. We gave her a nice little discount. So, Chris, you gonna get you another 50% off a hairstyle. So let's give it up for my homegirl Chris, because she's coming through and she supports. We got to show each other some love out here, because when you have someone like Mr. Jemison, who this is what his family does, you know, we got to do the same thing. So Chris, we appreciate you so much. We also have a barber out of South Carolina. I hope I said it like you said, South Carolina. We got Miss Real Roots, and I know she's very excited to have you in the chat. She also has a wonderful podcast here on YouTube and Instagram, so you could definitely check her out. So when Shirley and I come to Houston, you know I'm going to come your way. So let me take a few moments right quick, and let's just show them a little bit about your family's history. Let me see, where is that here? There it is right here. And let me just show it, and I'll just let it play halfway, and then we'll take it from there. Here we go, guys.
What you got? Oh, you got it.
During the first 50 years of the 20th century, cosmetology was one of the few fields of employment open to African American women. In Houston, thousands of the women who catered to the needs of the city's largely segregated Black neighborhoods possessed diplomas from the Franklin Beauty School. Cuero, Texas native Madam Franklin moved to Houston in 1918 and began not only operating a beauty shop, but teaching other young ladies the art of hairstyling. She also found great success with her custom-made beauty products. Madam Franklin took her business to Chicago in 1922, but following her death, her daughter and son-in-law, Abby and James Jemison, returned to Houston and took over the Franklin Beauty School that had been established 16 years earlier, further empowering it with a new cosmetology school license offered by the state of Texas. Hundreds of students graduated from the Franklin School every year, with many going on to open beauty shops that became community icons in 3rd Ward and 5th Ward, Sunnyside, and Independence Heights. Today, Franklin Beauty School, the oldest continuously operating licensed cosmetology school in Texas, continues to thrive under the 4th generation of family.
All right, we're gonna stop it right there. That pretty much just reiterates, what you was just sharing with us. And again, guys, in case you have just rolled on in and like, who that handsome man? What's your wife's name again?
Zamika.
What's your wife's name again?
Zamika Jemison. Zamika, like Tamika with a Z.
Zamika Jemison.
There you go.
This is Zamika's husband now. Now he's fine, but this is Zamika's husband, okay? And he's also Jemison, okay? 4 generations in to the Franklin Beauty Institute. And we just gave you guys a snippet, and you can go check that out on YouTube. I will drop that in the link so you guys can watch a little bit more about that. So we're going to move the conversation a little bit further along. So now that you guys have the actual cosmetology school, I want to show another clip right here because everybody knows that Beyonce is from Houston, and we also know that her mom is a cosmetologist. And a lot of people didn't know. When Cheryl told me, I was like, what? Because I didn't know until Cheryl told me. I didn't know. So here I have a little clip of their mom, of Beyonce's mom, at your school, and let's talk about some wonderful people who've come through the doors of Franklin Beauty School. So here we go right here, guys. Did you know Tina knows Beyonce's mom is a graduate of Franklin Beauty Institute? That's right. In this video, she is sharing with the students Beyonce and her hair care line, Sacred. She's also demonstrating her hairstyling skills. So in case you're questioning if Beyonce's mom is a legitimate licensed cosmetologist, here's proof right here from Franklin Beauty Institute. All right. Now, I think you got Beyonce. Can you picture Tina Knowles sitting in the... So tell us about how you guys have relationships with your students and what that means to anyone who's interested in going to your school, and just how you guys ingratiate that rich, because I would be a little like, dang, 110 years, because this is like Ivy League. I mean, to go to your school, it's like, that's like going to like Howard, you know what I'm saying? Like the HBCUs of...
I graduated from Hampton, so I got you.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that. And then Cheryl, you're going to add something to that as well. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, one thing I would say about Franklin is definitely family owned for sure. And with it being family owned, we treat you like family. And so I watched my parents give young ladies and men 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th chances to complete that course, because she knew that these young talented people were so talented. And so we just needed that extra push.
Now you got to speak. You got to break this down. 4 or 5 chances.
I've watched that. Yes. Now my wife and I are a little different than that, but we still carry that same. We still carry that same morals.
Right. I think it's important to really capture that when it comes to education, because I do think a lot of people, when you're going to an institution like yours, and sometimes it's, the struggle is real, for many reasons. That's too much to go into.
You got a lot of single mothers out there. You got a lot of, things that are happening. Yes.
Yeah. Speak into detail about your decision makers to give people those chances, especially on this platform, because there's a lot of people that's watching us. That's like, I started, but I didn't know if I could finish it, and this and that. So, and I'm glad you mentioned that. So go a little bit more into details about the passion that's used to make that type of a decision.
I think that's very important. I mean, it's not, of course, the business is not for everyone. But when you see someone's talent, we can recognize talent pretty quick in the business. Even if they have no inkling of doing hair before, you can still see the desire in that eye that people have, that artistic side of themselves. And when you see that, it makes you push a little harder for that young man or woman to make it. You really want them. And just think about it. We had to have somebody push us. And so sometimes these people, the young folks that come to our school don't have somebody that's pushing them. They go back home to somebody saying, you're not going to be anything. You're not going to, why are you even wasting your time at that school, or whatever the case may be? And so, especially, coming from the hood and stuff like that, or lower income areas of cities, you need that extra push and that motivation. And we try to be that for our students. We try to lead by examples. You're going to see us at the school. We're hands-on. It's not like you're a number with us, where you go to some schools and you don't even know who the owner is. You know who the owner. You're gonna see us there. You're gonna see my kids there. You're gonna see my grandkids there. You're gonna see the whole family. You'll probably meet my parents as well. And so that human touch, that being able to actually put your hands and eyes on the physical person that's actually leading this institution, it makes the world of a difference.
And let me just add to that. Now, remember, he said that you can come to this school and you may not have all of the talent, but they can see something in you. And I keep telling you guys, I am a product of what he just said. I entered the beauty industry as a student with zero skills. And so, Cheryl, can you speak to that? Because there are people who feel like if you're not born with the gift, because I don't have that gift, but you can be taught. And I'm serious. I am a perfect example of what happens when you go to school. And he is one of those instructors that saw something in a student like me. Like, well, okay, Ladosha may not, but you know what? So Cheryl, can you add to that? Because like I said, people watch this and they think like everybody just wake up with like Edward Scissors hands and they just have all this. But he's telling you guys, they understand that's not always there. But if they see something, Cheryl's going to take it one step further and talk about, and I'm proud to be a product of a cosmetology school that did exactly what you did.
That cared. There you go.
A bit more to people who feel like, well, maybe I'm not as talented and I don't know how. And, I wasn't born. I'm like, I'm not the Morrows. I'm not the Jemisons. I mean, I'm like, oh no, add a little bit more to that.
Yeah, right.
You're talking about a family in terms of, and just a legacy period. When we that's what we do. When we open up institutions, we give you that extra kind of familial kind of feel, but you can be coached, because you have to remember, cosmetology is training. The education is in the other part of it. But once you feel that love and you feel that connection, what he is saying is like, he's now like a scout. He may want to invest an extra amount of apprentice for that particular student to develop them, because they just need confidence and just be able to elevate the skills. It's the same thing as a basketball coach. You don't get these great legends. They don't come already being, Michael Jordan or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Magic. They're developed by love and time. Someone who is investing extra level of information, because sometimes you're missing pieces of information until they click, and that is what good coaches and what good instructors do.
I think that's very powerful. What you just said is that you could be missing, because I think the some of the argument is like you're born with this talent or you're black and think you just got to, like, you get a pass. But here Mr. Jemison is saying that ain't gonna cut the mustard. You don't get a pass because you're Black, and you may not turn out to be like a Tina Knowles, or you may not be as loquacious as a Ladosha Wright, but there are people in fine institutions such as Franklin who have the skill set to be able to extract and put you on the right track. So education in our industry is very important. You're getting a lot of compliments in the chat. If you have any questions for Mr. Jemison, please drop them in the chat, and we can see some wonderful. I see something that's coming through that I'm going to ask you to. I'm going to ask you a question, but Cheryl, take it away.
Right, and let me add too. Now you have to remember he's married to a hairstylist, and so having this 360 kind of degree of people. You have all these point guards and you have all these coaches. And that is one of the reasons why natural hair care industry, because it's the most recent movement, must understand that this is an ancestral institution. It's in our DNA. Beauty and image and self-worth and well-being and hygiene and grooming is so ancestral, and for us to be tribal about it, it's just really not in our best economic best interests. And as we take it into the 21st century.
And let me just I see some wonderful things coming through the chat. Now I gotta go there. You know what I'm saying, Ron? Gotta put the Black in it, So we see them, they're making some wonderful comments about what the education must be like. So is there something unique about what you guys are offering in your education as it relates to Black people and their hair? I'm going to show a clip that I just kind of I did a voiceover from TikTok because of the music. So let's talk a little bit more about what does the education look like in specific to Afro or Black hair. I'm not quite sure what language you guys use, but I'm going to show a clip of what I put together, and we're going to go a little bit more into some Blackness on that hair thing. Okay, here we go, guys. This video captures the barbering portion of the Franklin Beauty Institute. So as you can see, this institute is modern, it's up to date. Students and faculty look very, very happy. So stick around as we continue our interview with Mr. Jemison, who's giving us a full background on the history, growth, and future of Franklin Beauty Institute. Yeah, I told you, Jay. I told you, Ron, I had you hooked up. Right? Like, okay, go on, Keith Lolo, you did your thing. So let's get into the comprehension of barbering, and then let's take us into, is there something specific when it comes to working with Black hair, giving you guys history and informing the education that you continue, or you make sure that students get, because the chat just is kind of eluding. Are you keeping that, or is it or did you water it down and make it?
I got you. I understand the questions. Well, the business is very competitive, as you know. And I think that because Franklin has been around for so long, we have a great clientele base that's still coming to get their hair done at one of our locations. The South location, the one you just showed, that campus kind of moved to that location that you just showed. It used to be 12,000 square feet, but one of our universities out here bought that area. So we ended up moving to a smaller location, but we still get a lot of the core clientele that was going to Franklin in the South Park area of Houston for many years. And a lot of those clients are ex-graduates as well that keep patronizing our business. So they've watched me grow up. And it's amazing to hear their stories, because they're looking to see where their pictures are on the wall. And they come bring their grandchildren in, and they tell their grandchildren, this is where I went to school and things of that nature. Wow. But the industry has changed, as you know, and it's become very competitive. You have a lot of schools opening up due to the rules of each of the states changing over time. We brought barbering to our program in 2011. So we added that to our curriculum. And it was something very new to us. And at that time, my father was really against it. But I kept telling them, hey, this is my thing. This is something I'm gonna I think each generation brought something to the table, and this is something I'm gonna do because it's gonna allow us to go a different direction, or to keep going in the direction in which you want us to go in. It was amazing. Now we have 3 locations in Houston. Our largest location is 7,500 square feet, and then the other 2 that we have are 6,500 square feet. So, but it's a very diverse group of students now. So we're starting to see that mixture, that diversity of people wanting to learn from us, should I say? And so the hardest part. Yeah, y'all want me to keep it real? I'll keep it real. The hardest part is when you see a customer of color come in, and we give that ticket to somebody that doesn't look like them, right? That is a very difficult piece, because it was almost like when we were giving haircuts to females, you know, even though we know that it was a balance and they can cut hair just as good as the next person. It was just that we were programmed that way, with that men did barbering and women did cosmetology, right? And it was like that so long. And we had to break that monotony. We had to break that chain and really educate our staff. I mean, our clientele as well, and let them know that, hey, you have to trust us. You're walking into Franklin trusting that Franklin is going to provide a great service to you. And so I need for you to allow this person, whatever race they are, to be able to do your hair, because they want to learn your texture as well. And so we don't just teach one texture of hair, we teach all textures.
But how are you handling people who are saying you're giving it away? You're teaching her our Black stuff. That's ours. So you letting white people get in on something that, especially coming like Texas.
You want me to keep it really real?
I mean, come on now, because Texas got a rich history coming out of slavery that we don't know much about.
You want to go really real, Richie? Well, first of all, we do have to survive, number one, right? And so if I have another race that's coming in working harder than the race that I look like, and looking like they wanted it more, I mean, what am I supposed to do? You know, you understand what I'm saying at that point?
Well, here we go again.
Go for it.
Let's just Black people.
Come on.
And when you gave Lola, you just gave a lecture on the plantation, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whose hair were you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You straight hair.
You was doing you was doing white folks.
Straight hair, yes.
You was doing white folks.
Yes.
Okay? That's what you started.
That's correct.
Barbershops made, because especially before the Great Depression, your barbershop in the teens and 20s and 30s, your barbershops was filled with white folks.
That's correct.
Okay. Your kitchen customers were filled with Black people.
There you go.
But in the 30s and 40s and Harlem Renaissance, yada yada yada. But we have always been diverse. That's the dollar has always been diverse, and I think we get caught into some kind of what we call riptide. You know, we get caught in this riptide conversation that is just not economically appropriate for us. We have to participate in capitalism.
That's right.
And it's just fortunate that all other races of people do believe that Black people do know more about some hair and beauty, hygiene. So they want to learn.
They want to learn.
So you don't flip the script and make your curriculum, you know, white, and you don't make it Black. You know, you put the science and the like you said, the geometry, the anatomy, all of that, and you make sure that they get what they need to get regardless.
Yes, so no matter what. But definitely everyone that enters our school is going to know the history of Franklin for sure. So as you orientate, as you come in for orientation, you're getting a history lesson on what you just signed up for. So and we let them know that you made history when you signed up.
Now they in Texas where they banning books. And they trying to say, you know, DEI, and he's saying that's all fine and dandy. Number 45, but you gonna get this, Franklin. So that education is definitely comprehensive, but like he says, they are in accordance with what the state is requiring because they are in business. They ain't in love, y'all. Business, so they're doing what they have to do. So that education is definitely comprehensive. So they are going to get that, you know, it in its entirety and a whole bunch more. Okay,
for sure, no doubt.
So I see you, Patrice. I see my love. What's up, Pat? You know I'm gonna take you out to go get you a little bologna sandwich. You know we used to go to, we used to get them free lunches. That's my little stepsister in the chat. I see you, boo. Yeah, we gonna go on and have lunch one day. So Cheryl, what else are we do we want to add to this as we get ready to wrap this up? Because Mr. Jemison has been just a plethora of knowledge, just very gracious and keeping it 100. So Cheryl, what you want to add?
You guys are looking at an institution that is producing the hairstylists and barber stylists and estheticians and things of that nature of tomorrow. And we need the natural hair movement more than ever to be able to broaden their vision. And as we can help each other dealing with all of the legislative challenges of whatever we're facing. But one thing is true. We do need our think tanking, and we do need to stay connected.
Yes.
And so we can understand where our goals are, because of course, in the orientation, and like all institutions, when they're about to graduate, they are concerned about what they should do and that's when I'm sure Franklin invites people and other people who have been successful to be able to forge and trailblaze their path.
Yes.
So we're here to help and to assist, not to tribalize and vilify and defame each other. When you do that,
that's right.
Your industry very vulnerable, and you put in jeopardy all of the things that a Madam Nobia has done.
Yes.
His grandfather, his grandmothers, his parents, our parents, and the things of and the legacy that while we're all here. And I just think that it's just that this one is my favorite, and I also want you to want to thank you, Ron, for being responsive. Because we're not responsive most times, and maybe we are afraid of the subject. Maybe we are afraid of what we, how we feel. But you were very responsive. You reacted to what we, Ladosha and I, wanted to do. Like you did it like a legatee.
Right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And you said no problem.
And I got a passage here, guys. Now remember, this particular platform is for us licensed professionals. So hair aficionados, we ain't trying to knock y'all, but we're gonna speak to our own, piece right about now. And this is on page 30. Again, please go get Style of Jim Crow. We tell every cosmetologist, if you don't have this book in your salon, in your barbershop, and your skincare, and your nail, you ain't in business, okay?
So I think we're going to recreate that book so we can get our royalties off of that.
Well, I will make sure. I
want the book from you, Ron, because I want you to autograph it.
Yeah.
No
I'm gonna have to. Okay, I'm gonna buy one from get my shit. So here we go. This is Madam N.A. Franklin's 1921 instructional manual. Emphasize discretion in dealing with clients. Now, let me put this picture up right quick because I want to give it some context to those who just insist that we haven't done it before. We have, as Cheryl calls it, a legatee is in the building, okay? And this is something that when they say don't cook it up, look it up, all right? So here we go. Let me just show this right quick. So here we go. This is coming out, all right? Now notice they have on caps and gowns. They ain't just like, I graduated. Y'all ain't gonna tell you what I look like. But anywho, that's a new level right there. You see that, Cheryl? So what she writes is, an essential to success in this work, in this personal neatness of the operator and careful attention she gives to the little wants and peculiarities of her customers. Did y'all hear the son just talked about that? She says you should be tactful, diplomatic, diplomatic, and patient in handling your customers. The successful beauty culturist never gossips about her different patients, never discusses her competitors, because and of course never tells anyone of the many little secrets which her customers confide to her. You should never talk or laugh loud or become too noisy while giving your customer service. You should also avoid discussing your own troubles and private affairs, as this will greatly bore the customers. We are talking about his great grandmother. And as you can see in the chat, when you guys question, are they whitening it, and the answer he just told you, hell to the no. To the no.
That is from the progenitor.
Right. Now, he didn't even know that I was going to read that passage, but he already spoke to that. Not only do they do it in their customers, but they also have incorporated this in how they instruct, educate, and train their barbering and cosmetology students. What else are we missing about your school that we should know before we let you go?
Man, y'all covered a lot. I'll tell you that. This has been amazing, amazing podcast, amazing channel. I think y'all are doing a wonderful job with getting this information out to the public. We need more of this. I'm so honored to be able to come together with you guys and talk about this. Well overdue, but it's time to happen. I remember that day, Cheryl, when I was able to meet you, and my father talked so much about your father. So I feel like I knew him before I met him. And so it was very, very good to meet him with all the other icons that were on that stage at that time as well. It was surreal for me. But I think it was interesting to see that how big our industry is and how big it's still going. To see that you have mega stars like a Beyonce getting into the hair care business, not only just because her mother was a hairstylist and she grew up in the salon as well, but for them to partner with us last year, the beginning of this year, I'm sorry, with the Be Good Foundation and launch their product with our school. It was an honor to be a part of it. She's going to be in Houston this weekend, doing it big once again. And, Miss Tina has really graced our school and our students and really lended her helping hand to anyone that comes through our school that wants some advice, wants a mentor. She's out there to give, and it's really good to see her giving back to the community. Absolutely. And giving back to where she started from. And when we celebrated our 100 years, we actually honored her at that time. And I have that speech she gave on video, and I got to figure out how to put that together. They're working on a documentary right now. I think, a couple of historians are with our history as well. But we just want to make sure that people keep doing it the right way. Mm-hmm. And I know there's a lot of schools opening up all over the United States and things of that nature. Barbering has went crazy and blew up like crazy. Oh yeah. With barbers making some real money, which is amazing. And so it's so refreshing to see that this industry is still striving and going strong, and definitely surreal for me to see that we're fighting to stay in business, stay keeping the legacy going, and to keep that dream alive that was my great grandmother.
Let me ask you a question. Yes, well, what is behind you? You got into the shoe business, brother. I was gonna hit that, right?
Well, actually, I'm in one of my offices at home, but I'm a sneakerhead. I ain't gonna lie. Instead of being addicted to something else, that can harm me, right?
You love shoes.
I'll do that testimony one day again. One day when it's time, right?
You like shoes when they host think that you're in a sneaker store. I just want to testify.
Hey, no, I'm in my house. I'm in my house.
So here's what I see, because I'm Kilolo. I see something. I see a vision. I see when we come to Houston, we would love to go live on our podcast from your school with the students talking about, their experience. That's number one. Then number two, I think quarterly you should come back with some with some Franklin Beauty School facts. So we'll have you
Okay.
come in every 3 months. We'll come in. We'll say, we got Rob Jemison. Get your maybe your students want to get involved. Like I'm doing that day, Ladosha. I'm gonna let my students take it away, and they're gonna give us some facts because you got 110 years. There's no way, guys, we can get it on an hour podcast.
That's right.
And so we're going to invite you or one of your representatives from your school, one of the students, maybe a star student. They come into the chat.
One of them kids.
Yeah, and just let them come on and tell them about themselves, what they want to do when they get ready to graduate. Let's get them some business in Houston, okay? And then let them give us a little fact about the history of your wonderful, wonderful institute. 110 years. Come on, y'all. Madam N.A. Franklin School of Beauty Culture, because even that's a whole other conversation. How you go from beauty culture to cosmetologist, like good Lord, it was real persnickety back then.
Woo, they were getting it in. Yes.
It was highfalutin. All right. Okay, guys. So thank you so much. Ron, we appreciate you. So we're going to hold you to that quarterly. Come back and give us some Franklin Beauty. You know how they got little old Black History facts. So we're going to make sure we keep your family's legacy alive on this platform so people can know. And all you natural hairstylists that's kind of trying to put that stuff together in New York, stop it and go to where the source is. Y'all just go on over and enroll. And this is old, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Madam N.A. Franklin's School of Cosmetology now. So go check them out and get some of that natural hair education. Thank you so very much. And we'll see you in a quarter. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, everybody, let's give him a wonderful round of applause. We appreciate you very, very much. Make sure you show this to your students, all right?
We'll keep in touch, man.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, yo.
Thank you, Ron. We appreciate you. All right, guys. I think that was one. Esther, you know what? We love you so much. Thank you for encouraging all the wonderful comments, in the chat. Shakespeare, we really, really appreciate, your comments as well. Remember Cheryl talked about what we did on the plantation. And a lot of us probably don't know because I truly didn't know. Now, remember, you can email us here at Afro Hair Science at gmail.com. Cheryl is going to facilitate a lecture called Plantation Beauty, and it's going to be Sunday, July the 6th. 2 to 4 p.m. I had the wrong date the last time. So it is Sunday, July the 6th, 2 to 4 p.m. It's very befitting. If you're not into what's that, the 4th of July, we don't blame you. So come on and rock it out with us on Sunday, July 6th from 2 to 4 p.m. Also, don't forget, if you're in Cleveland, please go check out Marquette and Armand's film, a sci-fi thriller. It's called The Interval over on Shaker Square at the theater there. And of course, you can screenshot that code and you can scan it to get more information about the tickets. We're going to be back here on Monday. We're going to wrap up the beginning of our summer series with the unsung educators in the Black beauty industry, which this is a wonderful wrap. You see how we just wrapped that around, Cheryl?
Sure did.
And so that's going to be on the Afro hair, on the dumbest shit that people say about Black hair. That's how it's going down. And then, of course, Sunday, let's not forget, the Fête du Jour continues over at Major League Barbershop. Them brothers, they are on. That is truly the barbershop to the stars. Like, no joke.
Is it? No doubt. Oh, shit. Okay.
And man, them brothers, they cut some hair and they are down. They're very excited. And also the after party, the official after party of the interval is going to be at Major League Barbershop. So Mr. Lateef has made it so that we can meet the cast and the crew and everybody that's going to featured in the interval film. Also, you're going to be able to meet Mr. Marquette and Armand. So again, that's this Sunday from 4 to 6, right after their screening. Again, that's the Major League Barbershop in Cleveland, Ohio, the industry's Fête du Jour. Follow us, Fête du Jour, on Instagram and TikTok and all that good stuff, and you're going to get more information. I think this was definitely a powerful show. Wike said, come on, guys, help us get to that 3,000 subscribers. And I'm just going to check and see, did we actually hit it, Wike, since you mentioned it. Let me just go over to our page right quick and see, did we hit, we got $2,999. So we need one more. Come on, y'all. Let us get. I'm about to go. Everybody, Cheryl, put on your Instagram, on your all of your social medias. We need one more person, just one more person to subscribe, and we will have reached our goal. Thank you guys so very much. Y'all have a wonderful night. Yes, Shakespeare, come back and join us. Esther, you know we love you. Of course, Yate, Wike, LB, my boss. I saw you in the chat. Pat, I got to take you out for a bologna sandwich. So Cheryl, I love you very much. This is definitely powerful, man. Let's be like Don Lemon. Let's be like Don Lemon and Cuomo. I love you, Cheryl. I love you, man. I love you, man. I love you. We missed them too. All right, guys. You know what we say when we're signing out, right? Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. Deuces, my wonderful people. Thank you. Have a wonderful night.
Welcome to Planet Pluto.